when I go to Jamaica, so this is the thing, yeah. Again, sometimes I tell people, yeah, I'm going to Jamaica, I'm doing a solo one or whatever, and then sometimes people feel like they need to say, oh, like, I want to come. And I'm like, look, all right, yeah, if you want to, but I'm going to do the solo thing, it's fine.
Yeah.
But I'm just letting you know, this is how I do it. Because when I go there, it's not, more often than not, it is quite low maintenance type stuff. So I will book a place for 4 days-ish, in and around that. I get a car as well. Just a little car. The man will meet me at the airport, jump in the car. Usually he's late, by the way. Now, this is the thing. I'm okay with that because once I get there, I'm already climatized.
Yes.
It's gonna be long.
Everything you do.
It's gonna be long.
It's gonna be long.
So,
Everything.
but I'm all right with that.
Yeah.
I don't mind waiting, whatever. But if you're coming with me, you're gonna need to know this because what I don't want is somebody next to me kissing teeth and doing it because it's gonna do something to me. Yeah. So anyway, he'll reach, he'll be late, whatever. I'll get the key, boom, and I'll go and drive to the place that I'm staying at Ochi, which is like another hour, hour and a half maybe. Now the place is just nice, just a little comfortable place and whatnot. And once I'm there, I will then, like, within a couple of days, I'll think, all right, what do I want to do next and where do I want to go? Okay, I might want to just go and stay in like Port Antonio. So I'll just go on booking.com and I'll just, for nothing nice, nothing lavish, just a decent little space that's nice, book that, and I'll drive up there, stay there, and then I'll wander around, find a little local thing to eat, sit outside, and it's just nice for me. But it sounds good, but not everyone really is about that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Go with some of that.
So it's like,
because somebody I know is like trying to come somewhere, and I'm like, you just got to understand that you can't bring the bougie expectations. You got to understand what it is, and you can't. It's just impossible. I don't like, especially when we go back home, like when certain people are like they're this and they're that and they're cussing, but you can't cuss them because this is the world. And this is how it runs, isn't it? So you can't come and bring your Western. This is what we do in London ways. Like, sometimes
it's British shit.
Sometimes
100%.
Their colonialised mentality. I hate that.
I hate that. I mean, obviously, sometimes there's some fucking that goes about like, where's the food?
Yeah, sometimes it's
things.
long,
but you just don't have to be insulting and be like, they're so backwards.
You know what? That's what it is.
Yeah.
Don't be insulting.
Yeah.
You can be vexed that you're waiting.
Like
but
normal
don't
stuff, but don't be insulting and be like, oh yeah, like that. I don't like
that. But
that.
time is different. Yeah. And that's what we all have to accept. I get it. Like, you're not used to waiting an hour for your food.
Yeah.
But time is different over there. And to be like, oh, it should run how it is over here, I find it disgusting.
Yeah.
If I was a local, I would hate Dirty December.
Yeah.
Like, I'd literally be like, all of you people. Coming along, putting up our prices, talking about, hey, Charlie, take me here. Like, I'd be like,
talking some type of way.
Yeah.
The thing is, to be fair, I went to a nail shop, and who was I with? Was it me and my daughter? And to be fair, the service was annoying. So afterwards, I was like, yeah, I'm going to come back. I'm going to come back to Ghana. I'm going to set up a nail shop. I'm going to open my own nail shop.
Have those kind
and they're like, I can do this. I can set it and I can teach. And I was like, and I got to London, like, who's opening any nail shop in London, in Ghana?
You do think that though?
It's not happening.
Sorry, I just took it. It was in my house.
Where's ours?
It was the one in my house, and I was like, let me just. Sorry.
You do raise a good point, though, that like the Dirty December thing, because it's like, yeah, I'm sure obviously it is very fun in one aspect when you're going over there, and there's everyone that's like from America here and wherever else, But then if you're a local, it's extra difficult because the prices go up in such a mad way. And I remember like being in Kenya recently and having a conversation with this lady. We talked about it on the pod before, but like she's was born there, lived here for quite a while. Her parents still live over there. And every once in a while she goes over to see her parents and just to like do maintenance on their property and stuff like that. And so the conversation then went into like moving back and like me potentially the idea of moving to Jamaica and all of these things, And she was like, do you know what? It's just trying to find the right way in doing that because a lot of people are doing it and they're doing it from the basis of the fact that it's so cheap. Yeah. But the more people that go over and do this, the more you drive the prices up, the more difficult it is for the local. Because I'm sitting here and I'm saying like, we got an Uber from one place to another and then it ended up being a big madness because he took us to the wrong place. It was jarring anyway. So then anyway now, I'm with my mum and my mum's saying, make sure you get your money back on Uber, Make sure you get your money back. So I'm like, don't worry, I'll get the money back and whatnot. We figured it out and we've got there. And then, so I'm like, I'm in Uber and I'm like messaging them saying, yo, like, this is what the driver did. Can I get the P? This, and then they stopped. It was funny. The Uber company stopped engaging in the process. Yeah? But then when I checked out, what I'm actually getting a refund from, like 20p. It's like 20 pence. Do you get what I'm saying?
It's a principle.
It is a principle, and it's kind of like you kind of have to follow through just to be normal. But that's what happens when you go back home and it's the hair prices. So when you got people saying, go to Ghana or go to Africa to get your hair done, and it's like you're paying like £50 where it'd be $2,000 or something in America or UK, and it's like when you get over there, you're haggling and you're bartering, saying no, drive the price down. Then it's like I feel bad for bartering. I don't.
But do you know what it is?
I do it though.
Also, you got to do that to act normal. But also, it's like if you start flinging down money, that's when they think, so you can pay that.
Yeah.
Drive at the prices, and when it comes to all the tourists are gone, the prices are too high.
I
For the
don't
locals.
like when I go back to Grenada. I don't like them to try and treat me like I'm an idiot. Like,
that's the
don't
thing.
treat me like I'm one of them English people.
Like, I'm one of them. No, I'm not.
I have a Grenadian passport. Like, don't do that to me. So I will haggle, and I'll be like, I know that's not the price.
Yeah, I only do the haggling
let's not do
thing
that.
more like from that, as you said, like normality and
Yeah.
because I know it's like I go over there and I know what they're thinking. Yeah. So when you tell me what the price is, I'm telling you what I'm giving. And even then, more time, it's still like it's still reasonable and fair. I'm not haggling to the point where like I'm gonna get the greatest deal. It's just really and truly, this is what it is. It is really. So you might say to me like 2,000 Jamaican dollars. I might just say 1,000. And then they just take it and just move and whatever.
Do you feel a bit homeless? Homeless as in, I feel like we're in that hybrid space. Like when I go to Ghana, Ghana isn't home, but here isn't home as well. Like, so I feel a bit in flux. Like there's nowhere where I can be like, that's me. Maybe London is where it's like, that's me. But still, some parts of London is not who I am as well. But when I go to Ghana, they see you that you're a Bonnie, you're a Yankee, that you're just foreign as well. That should be home, but it isn't. And I understand why it isn't, because I don't know where I'm going. But here should be home, and I still, especially now, I don't feel like here is home either. I feel a little bit homeless. Like, where am I supposed to be as a hybrid person?
That is really interesting, because I had this conversation with someone before as well, who was talking about Jamaica, and they were saying when they went to Jamaica, they didn't get treated a certain type of way, and that like it just didn't feel like home. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I hear it. I think for me personally, I actually do feel a sense of home here. Yeah. And the reason why I would say that I feel like a sense of home here is because although I grew up in an area that was predominantly white, I saw the racism heavy. I saw NF written all over the place and whatnot.
Madness,
I think at a young age, I was involved in a musical thing that we were building within ourselves, and in that, like, we dressed a certain way, we talked a certain way, and we hung out in certain places and whatnot. And that was at such a young age that for me, and it being such a prominent thing, it feels like, we was a part of something. And although like this is not where we're actually from, I still feel like no matter what you tell me about where I come from or whatever else, I've been living here, we created something, and for that it makes me feel like home, regardless of what you say. But when I go to Jamaica, it doesn't feel like fully home. But the more that I do go there, and the more that I acclimatize to being in that dynamic, is the more that it does start to feel like home for me. Do you know what I mean? So, but I do think that sentiment of what you say is actually very common, because I've heard a bunch of people say that still, like, they don't feel like, my mum definitely does not feel like home is here at all. Especially someone even just quite recently went and told it, just, we was having this conversation, and then like a couple of months after that, she's come back and she said, you never believe, guess what? Someone said to me, go back to your fucking home. This the other day. So that even compounded that even more so. And not being in Jamaica for a long time also has taken away an element of home too. But yeah.
I feel at home when I go to Grenada. I do. Right. But I've been going all my life. And like when I go home, when I go back home, I've got shit to do as well. Like I got bills to pay. I got to run up and down, and me and my cousins have got to fix the house, and you know we got to go to the bank and stand in the queue for 10 hours, and there's stuff to do. So I do feel at home, but I do also understand that we are looked at as you're English. Yeah, we you know, like that's why I say to people, I've got a Grenadian passport. I love to tell them that. I love to tell them you don't even have a Grenadian passport. I've got a Grenadian passport. But they will look at you like foreigners still. Not like foreigners like the tourists, but you are still quite different to them. And you do have to appreciate that their experience is not your experience as well. So, but I do feel at home when I go there. And I think because my mum goes there quite a bit now as well, it's and my grandma's there for so long, it's starting to feel more like I can see myself having somewhere there. Like I feel like I could do 6 months there and 6 months here. I feel like I could do that no problem in a blink of an eye and not even care.
Yeah,
I could. Yeah, when I go to Ghana, I feel like I'm at home, and I didn't grow up going there. I started going a bit more recently in later life. Especially when my daughter got older, and I wanted her to know her homeland. I think it's very important that if you can get and you got kids that are from another place, from your back home, you got to make sure they go. Because there's nothing better than them knowing that they're from somewhere else, especially when this country can beat them down.
Yeah.
So it was important for me to make sure my daughter knew Ghana, and her dad lives out there anyway. So having that connection is great. And her knowing that she wants to live back home. Of her being a Gen X, Gen Z, no, what's she?
She's a Gen Z, yeah.
Yeah. So she wanting to live in Ghana. She's like, yeah, I'd live in Ghana. She wants to sort out her career and then go and live in Ghana, and I love that. And I don't feel displaced when I'm in Ghana. I see that they see us as different. And also we're in the bubble of privilege because we got money. So
exactly.
That makes a whole heap of difference because we're not seeing the poverty and the destitution. We've got money, and I'm very clear that I got to have money to live in Ghana. We got a house.
Oh, 100%.
Houses and stuff.
Well, you will feel the difference. Like, from what I know, when COVID happened, for example, there would be some people that were in Jamaica, for example, staying in Jamaica for a long time and feel a sense of home in Jamaica. But when COVID happened, they was thinking to themselves, hold on a minute, you foreigners come to this bombo clock country and start spread out your ass. And now all of a sudden, you're like, hold on, but I'm part of you. They're like, nah, you need to go back to foreign and stay over there with that.
I went to Grenada during COVID, right?
How was it, yeah?
I went, and the way that they locked me down, like even before I got there, because my grandma's passing, so that's why I had to go back. But even before I got there, they were like, nope, you can't go here. You got to be in quarantine. I had to find a location. I couldn't go to the family home. They were not having it at all. When we got to the airport, everyone that wasn't vaccinated, it's like they put us in a pen. Like, and it was so mad. Like, everybody else in the airport was there free, and we're in this little pen, and we're like, so you're really segregating us, isn't it? You nasty people. It was like, right, okay. It was deep. It was so deep. They were not having it from us because they were like, you're coming here with your bugs and your disease.
Bringing your
diseases. There has to be some mindset, because we were talking about like when Earn Your Leisure.
Yeah.
Those guys, and working with Hcpod about building this kind of big city in Ghana for people from the diaspora. So they're building like a community within Ghana. And as much as like, and there's a lot of people saying, yeah, I got properties in Ghana. Quite a few prominent and black Americans, like, I got properties in Ghana. But it's like, who are you renting to? What's the real consideration of the actual economy and the locals? Yes, the land is cheap. As you were saying, it's cheap and stuff. But who's going to live in these apartments when it's not tourist season? Are you not really thinking about the bigger picture? Are you not really all going to go and live in this city? Like, some of it seems a bit, not to speak on Earn Your Leisure and Chuckie, but it seems like, do you understand what you're really doing? And you lot buying up properties and building on land and saying you're going to rent it to who and stuff like that. I'm a bit concerned.
Yeah, like, how good is it really?
Exactly. Yes. And it's like, not to disrespect anything, but are you really thinking about what's going on out there? And bring your Western sensibilities, because sometimes in Dirty December, you got moody guys out there causing trouble that they do in London.
Yeah, it's like that.
No, thank you.
In Grenada as well.
Yeah, like we do.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's like some people that just go there for pappy show.
Yeah, to bring their nonsense.
So they're not fully respecting the culture of what that thing is about.
Well, they just, they're assuming that carnival is just gonna be like you're going on the road and you're jumping up and grabbing gal and things like that, and it's not like that. They don't go and experience the rest of the island and the rest of the, that's as Grenada gets more popular for jab and stuff like that. People are like, the locals most definitely are feeling like well, you're coming here, and then what?
And
What
spoil
else?
Is
Have
it
fun.
diluting it? Is it diluting it a little bit? Like the more popular that it gets.
You know what? I don't. It's kind of mad. Like as much as I like seeing Grenada out there and people knowing about it, I also don't want people to know about it.
So
I'm in that weird kind of a space where I don't want too many people go in there because I don't want it to be spoiled. Because it's always been like a little secret. Well, not a secret, but do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's your protected
It's not like a
space.
Barbados where there's like so much tourism that it can become something else. It's still quite protected, and so
that's the danger of it, because it's definitely bring, because like we got KFC, burger, like all the westernization, Americanization of our culture becomes a problem then. When everyone's like, yeah, that's a new hotspot. You want the economy to be boosted and all that type of stuff, but then when you're bringing all the like, why have you got fast food in in our back home countries?
I mean, we've got them as well.
No, I know, but I'm just saying the advancement of it, where now locals, that's a conversation that's happened back home, is like locals are now choosing to have KFC and that type of food instead of local
you know what?
food.
Yeah,
That's one
overgoing
thing
over
that
chicken stock.
that is one thing that does get on my nerves.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you can get chicken and chips for anywhere at any time in Grenada, and I'm like, so where's the oil down? I want to see oil down shops. I want that. That's our national dish.
Exactly.
I want to go somewhere and like it's not sparse. But chicken and chips is everywhere, and it's because it's fast food
And it's bad food.
KFC's was like so popular in Jamaica.
Yeah,
Like a rave,
I
though,
remember
isn't
that. I
it?
remember
Is it like a rave in Jamaica?
Yeah, in Jamaica, I went and had a KFC.
Because like
It
in
seems to be a
Grenada
spot.
and in
It's rammed.
Dominica, it's a rave. The queues for it are dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's mad.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
queues
we
are-
were in a queue for time in
Yeah,
Jamaica
yeah.
for KFC. Again, why were we even having KFC? We did
but
also
you know what? It's nice,
have
though.
local stuff.
I
but
needed a break.
it
I just
was a
needed.
thing.
Do you know what it was? It wasn't I needed a break. It was more that like at that time their gravy slapped differently.
Yeah, they got
I remember that.
Chicken slaps
Tweet-
different.
And they don't even
Yeah,
do.
the
By the
flavours.
way, they don't even do the gravy anymore in the KFC in Jamaica, which is
Did they used
absolutely
to do rice
insane
and
to
peas
me.
in Jamaica as well
Huh?
in the KFC?
Not that I remember. Not that I remember still, but yeah, they had the gravy absolutely slapped. So that was the appeal for me. If I'm going KFC, I'm definitely getting the gravy because the gravy tastes different and whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess when you are somewhere for a couple of weeks, it's like you
You want a little
When-
home
yeah.
away from home.
like a one thing.
No, but I also feel like because it tastes so good there,
There's
it's
the
different.
difference,
They
yeah.
got the biscuit, they got the spicy
Yeah,
chicken.
Yeah, but is
It's
it
just
extra?
got
Is it more
dead
extra
KFC here.
fuckery though? Like the better it tastes, the better that certain things taste.
I just
Like
don't know
All
why
the
it takes
E
them
numbers
so
and all that
long.
stuff.
It is. It's full of shit.
But also, I guess they'll put their dash in their, cultural seasonings and stuff. That's all well
Yeah,
and
I
good.
feel like it
I'm not
tastes
saying there
better.
shouldn't be none, but when it starts to be overrun and it's taking over the culture, and then do you know what I mean? It's just everything gets watered down. It is watering it.
one thing I wanted to bring up actually, as we was talking about this, is
Are you
how do I even put this as a question? Because I've brought this up here before with other people, yeah, but it was talking about like how cultures and traditions become diluted, yeah, and see, like for my parents, my grandparents, or whatever, coming from Jamaica, there was always like certain things that was around as a kid, whether it be the music, food, whatever else, yeah. Now, the Most High hasn't blessed me with a child at this moment in time, but just speaking for other people that are in the same situation as me, had children, lived here, you might have elements of that you pass on, but remember, they're going to do their own thing the same way that I did. Like when I was growing up, although I was around reggae music and eating this food and whatever else, and being around people from where I come from, ultimately loved garage,
Yeah.
which was our thing still,
Yeah.
but garage and, you know what I mean, these other things, and then there's like all these other things that get created in and amongst that, yeah. Now, I could have a child, or someone in that could then have a child, and then they're growing up with their parent, maybe still listening to some old school thing, maybe still cooking up some of the food and whatever else, yeah. But remember, they get older, then when they have a child now, by then, which is where we're at, because you'll have like people that are like fourth generation here.
Yeah.
There is a complete detachment
Yep.
Yeah.
to where they've ultimately come from.
Yeah.
They will not know how to cook the food. They won't know necessarily anything about where their heritage comes from or anything like that.
Yeah.
So it's like over a period of time, all of these traditions that we once knew of and that was important to us will no longer exist and mean absolutely nothing. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. So-
Well, I hope it doesn't get there. I feel like what are we considered? First gen? 'Cause
First gen.
Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause
Born
our
here,
parents were-
mum was born
Yeah.
Over
in
there,
Ghana.
yeah.
So then I have my boys. like they had their naming ceremonies. They
Right,
go to naming
okay.
ceremonies so that you know what you should carry on. I would prefer, as a so-called Black Brit, we create our own traditions that are based on West African traditions and we fuse it together because that's like our foundation. So we all come from the same stem. Doesn't matter where you are, like Nigerian, whatever. They're very similar. Even Nigerian naming ceremonies are very similar to the Ghanaian ones as well. But if that becomes our own tradition, so people know you have your baby, it doesn't have to be 8 days like it's done back home, but you do it when they're a baby and you do a naming ceremony. You open the village to know who your child is. You carry that on so that you don't lose what is ours, but it will we'll have a new name. Like we'll be a new set of tribes, but there is a root that comes from the root. I would like us to embrace that instead of being separate and leaving it so that, I don't know, we become some homogenized, like we're English, but we're Black English people. Like, it's like, please, let's not do that, because even English people come from somewhere else.
Of
They've
course,
lost their culture. We don't need to lose our culture as well. They're Nordic and or German or wherever, but they've lost their roots, and I don't think we need to carry that on.
That's why I think it's important that kids from the Caribbean or from Africa go back home and get some. So I lost some of the traditions because my mum worked all the time. So when her and my dad divorced, I stopped going to family parties and stuff like that, and going to namings, because funerals are great, big things in our culture. Like you're going to the funeral party as a family. Do you know what I mean? So all of that I was lost because mum was always working. But my daughter, and with her being connected to her dad's side of the family, she got back involved in the naming ceremonies, the funeral things and the family parties and all that stuff. So all the traditions and the music. So she's very Ghanaian, thankfully. And she's so traditional. And then going back home, that reinforces it. So I know my grandkids are going to be raised in culture from what I know, but also she's even more embedded in it. I think it's really important. I don't want to see our culture just be diluted and lost. Everything, like even from 9 nights to, we do 1 week, Ghanaians do 1 week, 9 nights, just understanding all the things.
That's important because it's so similar. It's literally the same. I know my friend, he wanted to do like a naming, and so he asked me like, what do you do? And I was like, listen, you could have one of my cousins come along and do like the ceremony for you. He chose to do it his own way, but I was really... It filled me with pride that he wanted to reconnect. Like, there's no separation. He's Bayesian, but it's like literally, I like that. I like what you guys do. It's important for the village to be involved, and it's like, let's do that. Let's root ourselves in something so that we don't lose it and become English.
I was going to say, explain naming. It's like
a naming ceremony is generally within the Akan tradition. You will give your child a few names and you'll name them after somebody else. And then you present them to the family. So you do it quite early on when they're a baby, like 8 days usually, but over here it can be a few months old. And then you're like, here is my child. And then the elder of the family blesses the baby and will do like prayers over them. We'll introduce them to sugar, salt, alcohol, water. Like, these are the elements that are here on this earth. Like, do it in measure. Don't become an alcoholic, basically. Don't become a sugar feed. Like, and then the family will give you money, and it's like, this is the baby.
And it's always done at crack of dawn, isn't it? Usually at daybreak. Like,
that's wholesome.
I love that.
Yeah, it's lovely. Yeah. It's such a lovely event. It's a blessing for the kids as well, and they get to look at their pictures and see all of the people that were there. And then throughout the ceremony, it's like you will get up and do a donation, and there'll be like a chairman, like a ceremony person, an MC, and he'll be like, oh, so Chuckie has come along and he's decided he's going to bless the family and the kid with £100, and then everyone will be like, so it's really nice.
Does ego get in that as well? Then someone's like, all right, well, you did 100, like, what? I'm going to go.
And it's also got the kind of
that's what you want. We want everyone to be like, I'm going to one up the next person. Also, sometimes people come up 3 times. I'm going to bless them again.
Okay, Bob, let me go and jump on next
one. It's also a tribal thing as well, because you have different tribes. Like, if it's like real traditional back home, it's going to be at different tribes and different areas going to come and represent for the family lineage and all that type of stuff. So it's a deep thing. We're from the same tribe.
So my husband's from a different tribe. So it's a slightly different ceremony where they bring in more elements to his one, where my family's kind of got a bit Christian. So his family adds in the moon and the sun, and it's a slightly similar, but it's a slightly different ceremony. I love their ceremony, like the Gars. So we did 2.
Was there ever a clash of cultures?
Yeah, we're Cans and we're the Warriors, and we think we are nice.
Well, the
What does that look
Cans
like?
are the majority.
Yeah.
So throughout Ghana, it's like the other smaller ones, like the Gars, it is a smaller tribe. So there is definitely a resentment to the Ashantis, the Fantis, the Akan tribe, because throughout the different wars, they have had wars.
Yeah.
So when you're from the majority place, again, every time you have to assess, am I being the white person in the room? I didn't. You know, you got to think about it. I didn't know growing up, because my family is so Ashanti. They just talk about Ashantis. I actually didn't know there was other tribes from Ghana.
Same.
They're
Right.
so like, that's how it is. So then you meet other people and it's like, oh, you're from Ghana. Say Etesane, and they're like, no, that's not my language. Like, wow, there's other. Wow, this is new. And then you hear the resentments, and it's a bit like, I didn't even know, because we are the majority.
And our language is the English of Ghana.
Yeah,
Right.
so I had to learn and not take it personal when you're in spaces and they're talking about your tribe derogatory.
Yeah.
It's like, again, I am the white person in the room. Right. I'm not a part of this shit, but my lineage has done some shit to your tribe.
Right.
So I have to humble
have to
myself.
humble yourself.
Yeah, you just
Okay.
got to be
Is
quiet
that like
and
the island
understand
wars?
it.
Is that like the island wars?
Yeah.
Does it sound similar?
Nah.
No,
Nah.
not
But
like
there isn't like,
Not
because I
wars.
wouldn't say that there's anything like that. But there is like what is the polite way of putting this? Like, I would say
there
that.
be like
I
that
would
with
say,
Jamaica?
do you know what?
Always say
Speaking from a
Jamaica.
Jamaican,
No,
this is
no,
for
no.
my observation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
go on.
Yeah.
I do feel that in some points, depending on who I'm around, it's like there is this thing that Jamaicans do feel like they are better.
Yeah,
than.
yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
You do.
That would
Not me, but yeah.
I would say that would be the island wars.
That's island wars.
No, but it's not the same as like the tribal stuff that you
Yeah,
said.
no,
Like,
it's
I don't
different.
think I don't think it's the same. But
Okay.
there is the island wall. Like Jamaicans will be like, we did everything. We're the best. Like I've been hearing stuff on the radio lately, and it's been bugging me. They've been saying Jamaica and the Caribbean, and I'm like,
Yeah, that's
so where the
mad.
fuck is Jamaica?
That's rude.
I
Where
can't
is
lie.
Jamaica?
I have heard that quite.
Every time I hear it, I get offended. Every single time, I want to ring up and say,
it's like Britain and the Isles.
Yeah.
like they're the main characters.
That's
Because
what I mean.
no, I've always,
It
because
pisses me off.
majority of my friends are Jamaican, and even me being the guy, the African one in the crew, and like, well, there's other islands. I never knew about other islands until like going to college and other like meeting other people. I'm like, oh,
are you
what's
Jamaican?
that?
No, I'm fucking
Yeah,
not.
it's every African to Africans, like, oh, you're just Jamaican.
It makes me be like, all you lot have got is land mass. That's it. It's just all you fucking got. What's going on about? Oh, small island, whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
man, who
all of
cares?
that, all of
But
that.
what I am intrigued in though is the culture clashing with a partner. If you both come from different tribes, for example, and you have different ways of doing stuff, like how that manifests into having a harmonious relationship. Like how do you battle with some of the traditions that would be important to you in your side and important to him and his side, if that is a thing?
Early days, it didn't come from us because we're both British borns. So it would definitely be like the parents type
Yeah.
of thing. And we just found you just got to please both. So we're doing 2.
Okay.
Okay.
They're not merging. Everybody is like,
Wow.
their tradition is the best tradition going and is the
Yeah,
right
yeah,
way
yeah.
to do it. So let's just do 2. We can do 1 in this person's house, 1 in this one's house. And we just did it like that. But yeah, it's different. I mean, there's loads now of like Ashantis and Ghans getting together, especially here. In Ghana, it's probably a little bit more tricky because again, you have 2 different places. It's Kumasi and it's Accra. It's like the capital.
I've been to
and
Kumasi
the-
as well.
The capital
That's
that
where I'm from.
you know the Cans would be like, this should be the capital.
Yeah.
So yeah, it gets a little bit techie there. It was hard early on, but I had to keep on learning. You don't take it personal. Obviously, they're old school. They have their things against your tribe. Just don't take it personal.
Yeah,
Like,
'cause,
and
yeah, it's-
as we've gone on, it doesn't even mean anything.
I suppose that's also like if a Caribbean marries an African.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say like,
That's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in that situation?
I've
as well?
dated an African.
And then how did
I
that?
dated a Zimbabwean for too many years. Too many years, too long.
Was there any clashes in culture?
I would say yes, because some of the things that he thought was normal, I'm like, nah. Like, to him, he's like, oh yeah, if we have a child, they're gonna go to boarding school in Zimbabwe, and I'm like, no, they're not.
Wow.
No, they're not going to do that. That ain't never gonna happen. Yeah.
And then he's looking at you like you're mad.
Yeah,
as well,
absolutely.
This is
Why
normal
wouldn't
to
he?
him.
No, he was like, why wouldn't you want that? Like,
Right.
that's how I grew up. Why wouldn't you want that your child to experience that? And I'm like, what? Miles away? Like, no. So there was stuff like that, and just also I remember going to his house one time. Food stuff was very different. Like going to his house one time, and I bust open a pot, and there was like caterpillars in the pot, and I was like, "What the fuck is that?
What the hell?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
What do you mean?
What? There's caterpillars in the pot.
But what was it made? Like, how are they gonna make it
Because
into a stew?
it wasn't even a stew. It was just. It's hard to explain, but it's like they eat. You know, it was a delicacy.
Really?
Yeah, so I was like,
Oh, see, I'd be so mad ignorant at that.
Because if I'm as a Ghanaian married going out with Zimbabwean, if I see caterpillars, it's a problem.
Yeah.
But then I suppose then there's things that.
But how are they gonna eat it?
It was cooked. It wasn't like it was, you know.
I mean, what do they do? Is it like
I don't know. But
on a
there's-
fork? Like,
No, but if it's
Nana, let me tell you, I put the lid back on the pot and I never knew
But
after
to be
that.
fair, if it was crispy and cooked. or
Sorry,
something-
EA's got something on the screen. Put this on the
Okay,
screen,
go.
please.
What's
EA,
that?
read that. What have you
Pane
done?
one,
Was it?
or pane one.
Okay.
Go on.
how do you eat it?
They're sun dried for preservation.
Okay.
They're crunchy like chips.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're
wow.
cooked, rehydrated, and simmered in oil, and then they're served with zatza, which is cornmeal porridge.
Okay.
See?
Cornmeal porridge and
Come on,
And you see
caterpillar and
to me,
cornmeal porridge.
you see to me as a Caribbean, yeah.
Yeah, caterpillar and
Cornmeal
cornmeal.
porridge is something we have in the morning. You know what I mean? Like, so when I saw that was a bit different. But then I suppose if I took him to my grand's house and my gran is making
Chicken foot soup.
pigtail soup.
Oh, yeah, there
that's
you go.
mad. Like to you know,
that might be mad to him.
and,
Yeah.
and it's got pig snout and all that thing in
oh,
the
that's
like.
mad.
you know,
Because
that
they
could
may
be
not
mad
eat
to
cow
him.
foot and then that type
Well,
of
we
thing.
do, but yeah,
I do.
in different
But I
ways.
mean,
It's all around.
a caterpillar, I think, is in it. I feel
Interesting.
like
Okay.
it'd be fair to be a little bit like
It's high in
ignorant
protein,
that.
by the way.
Okay, but if I
It's
took
high in
him,
protein,
if
by
I
the way.
took him, if he
Of
had
course it
come
is.
back
Very
home,
high.
they eat manaku. Back
What's
home,
that?
like it's like a marsupial.
Put that on the screen.
It's,
I-
yeah.
Is it like a
Can you say it
kangaroo?
again, please?
No, it's not like a
Manaku?
Marsupial.
Manaku.
No, but it's a small thing. It's
Yeah, okay.
small, but it's, manaku. They eat manaku and they eat mongoose and they also eat armadillo. Not everywhere, but they eat that shit. So
Go to
Yeah.
you can't give me that. I remember being young. My cousin made that for me, and I was like,
So wait, is that an
"Oh."
elephant?
Can you say
No,
it?
say
Manaku?
Manakou.
I don't know how to spell it. Put manaku and then put Caribbean. It might come up.
Oh, you put Zimbabwe. That's why.
Man, I've never heard of this.
Yeah.
I've heard of Manakou.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have like bush
It's like a
rat
rat
and shit
looking
like
type
that.
Oh,
of
okay.
thing.
Yeah,
It's like
so it'd be
little
like a
bush
bush rat.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
bush rat.
it's like a little rat.
Oh,
You can't eat that.
okay.
Not
Yeah,
eating that.
that's bush rat. in our
Interesting.
country.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah,
is.
it's bush rat.
Manicure.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Manicure and
not.
mongoose.
Does it
Because
taste
when-
nice?
I don't.
I've never
eat
tried
that.
it.
No.
Who wants to taste it?
All right, no, wait. Let's just do this very
I don't
quickly.
eat it.
Sidebar. Why would you not try that?
No.
It's just because you know.
All right.
said-
Why?
When my
you know
cousin
what it
gave
is.
it to me, I was 10, and I remember my cousin made it, and it was in, and I saw this tail thing, and I was like, "What? What's that?" And she's like, "Oh, it's manicure." I was like, "I'm not eating that. I'm not
It's
eating
the
it.
sight of
It's
it.
the sight of it. I'm not
Listen,
eating
we
it."
used to have.
I have
Yeah,
eaten
yeah.
it.
You know
yeah,
why?
it's
Exactly.
like from the possum family.
Exactly.
No, I'm not. I'm
I
not.
did.
But is
eat
it what do
turtle.
they eat?
I don't know.
If it just eats grass and all them things.
I don't think that's what it.
It might eat
I
grubs
don't
and
know.
shot. It might eat
Does
grubs.
it look like a grass eater? That
No,
do it,
no,
go
no, no.
And what? And,
do.
and mongoose is the next.
It's just
thing.
funny to me that we've just become
It's
so
Western,
accustomed to
isn't
eating
it?
chicken,
Yeah,
and it's
because
just like
it's normal.
But it's also it's the Western thing in us,
Yeah.
like you know.
But
What's
also
this
because
here?
like
They eat everything.
See,
Oh.
That's what it looks like.
insects,
That's me, Papa.
worms,
I don't eat
frogs.
that at all.
That's what it
It's
looks like.
vegetable.
it's
Oh no,
the
yeah.
environment.
Eggs.
No, no.
This bit that will kill you, bro.
What does that say?
What is that? Oh, roadkill.
They are roadkill.
But they themselves become roadkill.
They do.
Yeah, no,
People
Look,
eat them up.
when people used to come from back home before the regulations, there'd always be the suitcase that kind of smelled
Yes.
funny.
Yeah.
And that had like, sometimes I used to be so traumatized.
It's true.
Because there'd be like, Hey, what's in it? You might see the thing still with the stick that they killed it with.
Yes.
The big bush rats, dried, smoked, and it's got the stick in it. And then you got the snail pot. I remember going down to my kitchen, and then there's snails in the pot, the big African snails.
that's
Mum would
really
use for
disgusting
soup.
as well.
So that suitcase was the dodgy suitcase.
No, my mum was like too snobbish for the snails. She used to. So we grew up with. Don't like certain aunties they cook with snails like don't have
Okay.
their soup. Like she was like, you don't eat snails in this house, so we never had that. And the bushmeat as well. Again, she was like, that's for the unsophisticated.
okay.
So it's like we never had bushmeat.
Yeah. My granddad
But
thought like that. as
the
well.
dried fish, like Corby,
Kobe.
Oh yeah.
Kobe,
and it stinks. And oh my
It's
god.
My
weird.
grandma would bring
I'm
back,
funny
and it's
when
like
it
you
comes to
said,
stuff like
loads
that.
of suitcases with food and shit.
Yeah. And there's always one that just
To be fair, I'm
burns.
glad they stopped that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Sometimes, you know,
thinking.
it would stink. And
it's
it's
like,
like, what's that?
What are you bringing this over for? It's a lot.
Don't
was
get me
one-
wrong.
Yeah, is there
Okay.
some traditions that just needed to
When
just
I
let
come
go?
back, I do bring back some stuff.
What are some of the traditions that just need to just be let go?
That's one. Definitely bringing back food.
I bring back some stuff.
I bring back stuff, but not the
Not
bush
the
meat.
stick.
Not all
The
of that.
stick still in it.
Nah, not the stinky stuff.
No.
It's the stick still
I
in
might
it.
bring
like-
back some like
and it
seasoning
came.
peppers. And
Yeah, peppers and
stuff like
shrimps.
that.
We always bring shrimp for shit up.
Oh, you do that?
Yeah, we bring shrimps.
No, I don't bring that.
What needs to end? Do you have any bad
ones?
ones?
Can you Google just quickly, and put this on the screen if this is the case, yeah? Can you put, let's say, Ghanaian traditions that
Oh, controversial.
yes, put that, and let's see if there's
You
a.
better do Jamaican after that as well to even out.
Do Jamaica.
Yeah,
We're gonna do that. We'll do that.
Yeah.
We'll do that. Yeah, we'll do
Do
that. We'll do
Jamaica.
that. We'll do
It's
that.
just
We'll do
balance
that.
it
Would be
out.
controversial.
Yeah, are you talking about food or are you talking about values? 'Cause this is-
Oh yeah. Then it's gonna start going down a deeper thing, isn't it?
We don't do cutting. We don't do. Oh, we do face cutting. Face
cutting.
Our tribal
Yeah.
scars. So
Oh,
my
that's
mum-
has that stopped? Or is that
depends.
still-
It's still
Northern
go on.
region still.
Yeah, because my
still
mum
do it.
got hers. My mum had two little like eyelets on her face, and she got hers cosmetically done because she. But I think that came from trauma and stuff like that, so she hated them.
Do you know what
always
is
thought they were
interesting?
beautiful.
I believe. I mean, I could never tell somebody how their tradition should be and whatever. Yeah, but what I will say is though, like growing up and seeing it in some ways have given me a certain level of respect in it because like I see it and I'm like, rah, this is that thing. Although that might have caused a level of trauma to that person, yeah. In my mind, I'm like, this is such a deep rooted thing that's gone on for
Yeah.
such a long time. There's like unfortunately a bit of power in that in
Yeah.
some way
Yeah.
because you've held on to something for such a long time. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then I guess we get to a point in life where you start questioning some things
Like,
like,
why are you
is this
doing
it?
that
Yeah,
to
like
a
why are we
kid?
doing that? Where did that
Yeah.
even really come from? Is that really our thing?
Yeah.
Did
I
that
don't-
come from? Do you know what I mean? And
this
then
is
when you
it.
start
I
looking
don't-
into it like that, it's when
Yeah,
it's
I
become.
don't know the history. That I haven't even gone into the deep history of face cutting. And she had small ones. Obviously, some people have the really hard ones. Some
Yeah.
people have multiple. But she had two little ones, and she closed. them.
I didn't even know. It's like I had a fight with a girl on the estate and she cut into my face. And so I had a scar for time and people used to be like, it was a tribal mark. I was like, no, it was a bit, I can't remember what her name is now. She did it to me and my mum hated it because it's
Bitch.
like, exactly, like scarring me, like going up to the dinner ladies and they're all, and it's like, it's not a mark. This isn't a tribal mark. But it was a bit frowned upon in my family and it was always seen as northern.
Okay.
Like
Right.
this is a northern thing to have the scars. I don't know. Yeah, traditionally for them though, they still do it. So
But my mum
I
was.
don't know. That's why I'm wondering. I'm
My
like, I
dad,
don't know.
because my granddad was a chief of
Maybe
the village.
royalty
I suppose
has it.
royalties kind of thing. So I think there was some ties to that, but I don't know why the trauma thing, which mum just thought it made her look ugly, and I think there is something about what that means.
I definitely didn't like it, and I didn't like the looks that I would get when I had that scar on my face. I didn't like it.
So did that come from? See, not liking it. Did that come from being away from that environment, being in a different environment, and then looking at yourself differently when you're in this like Western? Because like would they, if they was there or if you was there, would you still have looked at it the
No,
same?
probably not. Probably not. But it felt like For one, it's like my name is Nana anyway. I'm already marked as African.
Yeah.
And then you've got this mark that people are like, that's very African. It's like it placed me in an ultra African
and being
space
dark skin on
when
top.
exactly it wasn't cool to be African. So when I had that mark, it was just like, I don't know. You could have placed me in a flipping
it was like
starving child ad. That's how I felt.
And even when my mum used to bind my hair.
And then I had thread in my hair as well. It was
I don't know if you ever went to school with any African girls who had the cotton welded hair.
Oh yes.
And then and the mum would join it up and they'd be like, oh, you got a railway on your head. All the little things that make you cringe and feel like I'm even more African, standing out even more. Like,
do you know what? I hated the way that my gran used to comb my hair. And I'm so glad that my mum never took that on.
How did she go forward?
This. And it was like, it's hurting. Like, no, like, and the thing is, I thought that was just a me thing.
No.
Until I'm going to other Jamaicans' yards and whatnot, and their mum and grandmothers or whoever's is combing their head the same way. I'm like, why are you combing it like this? Like, why are you combing my hair like that? Like, just give me you know what I mean? It hurts. I've been sleeping on it. The way my hair's set up, it's not, I don't just get up and it's just neat and this, that. Like, it needs a little bit of that, but that was just their thing. Yeah, what have you got, by the way?
Jamaican controversial traditions.
I was about to say.
One is Obeah.
Obeah.
That's not just Jamaican.
That's just Jamaican. Yeah, that's just.
But yeah, it's essentially.
And that's been demonised by the West as well.
I was just going to say that too.
Yeah, that's out. That's out. That is definitely out. Oh, do you know what?
A
couple years ago.
When you say that's out, do you mean no? Or,
yes.
What's your explanation of Obeah for you? Because it's not, because for us it's like there's traditional spiritual practices that have been demonized because it's not Christian.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's been completely demonized now.
Okay.
Yeah, and looked at in an odd way. But what is interesting, and I know it's a bit different, but it's definitely different. But a couple of years ago, when I was in Jamaica, I'm driving down the street, I had someone in my car with me or whatnot, and there was this man who jumped out of nowhere and he had painted himself, he must have painted himself all white. So he was running down the street and the man said, Bombo Kade Obeah. Obeah man. I always remember that. It's crazy. But yeah, I mean, yeah, that's crazy. Recently, actually, there's a couple other things I want to talk about, but I did want to bring this up. Recently, you had a really fruitful conversation about frigging, by the way. I saw that. That isn't even what I was going to bring up, but that just comes to my head. Frigging. What the fuck? Do you know? Wait, 1 second. Do you know what that is? Was it frigging?
Frigging.
No,
Frigging.
Frig. It's frig.
Frig. Do you know what frig means? Wait. Guess what it could be.
Frigging.
Yeah, if you was going to go home and frig.
Have a frig.
Now that sounds big.
That sounds big.
Is it masturbating?
Yeah.
So,
You call it frigging?
Yeah.
No, it's called frig.
it's called
Oh,
frig.
frig.
Like, the motion is frigging. So I was having a conversation with a friend, and oh my god, this is
You're getting tired now.
That clip almost didn't live long.
Is it?
I don't know how I feel about this.
I don't know. Let's give it 24 hours.
No,
I was so silent.
You gotta stand on that and live with that one there, man. Trust me.
You brought it up. I was like, this is a great clip.
It's so funny.
Freak, yeah, go on.
I was talking to a friend. Oh my god! I was talking to a friend. I tried to make it short. I was talking to a friend, and I was like, "Remind me what I said." She goes, "Oh, go home and fuck yourself." And I was like, But I said, "Hold on a minute. That's a conversation that me and my girlfriends never have. We never talk about if there's the moment takes us, what we're going to do." And I said, "What would you say if you were to say to me, I need to go because I've got to handle myself?" So we had a different conversation about what we would say, and I said, "Oh, the word frig," and everyone was like, because I always have words that people haven't heard before because I'm a Victorian or
I've
something.
heard the word frig, but not in that context.
I always get teased on my words. I'm like, frig is a word. It means to masturbate from a woman's perspective. Because I think wank is a bit masculine. To say that, I'm going to have a wank. So I'd rather say frig myself. And that's it.
But nobody out of the 1920s
No.
has
I've
that word.
never, I
only
couldn't
use
even,
the
do you know
word
what? This
frig,
nearly had me
it's
in
diff-
tears when I saw it.
I don't say
Because
that.
I was like, what? I was like, I have never I've never, ever, ever heard of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then
Other
also
than like
that,
frigging out or something.
That's
innit?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
She
different.
loves to say things that no one has ever.
Okay,
She,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
imagine her with like a nightie and a candle. Like, it's that era.
exercising
It is
like
that
an
era
alternative
of
vocabulary.
Exactly.
Which also I did see you go on to say that like in terms of like with guys and that we don't really
Because I called someone I don't want to say because he might be like, don't put my name out there. So I messaged someone and at first of all he was like, what the fuck is frig? And then I was like, but do guys in conversation, do you lot have a conversation and say, I need to go knock one out? Would you mention it? Like you and EA are chatting.
See
like,
me, I am so open with this thing.
But in mid-conversation right now,
But
obviously
I wouldn't say
but
like so. It's not because I wouldn't say that. Not because I'm shy to say it.
Okay.
It just probably would because usually in my mind, I don't always plan it like that anyway.
Okay.
I might be feeling it. You get what I'm saying? But I don't plan it. It's just sometimes I'll go home, and then I'm like, nah, I'm gonna have to get butt naked. I just need to, you know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't tell my don, yo, when I get home, I'm gonna get butt naked. Don't do that. But if he asks
What if
me,
you were on the phone and you're
just
like,
talking?
I've got to. That like,
I've got
nah, 'cause it's
to.
never that urgent.
Okay.
So it's like, if I'm on the phone,
Yeah.
it's suppressed for a moment, unless we're talking about something. Like if we're talking about sex or whatever now,
yeah.
and I start diving into the archives of what was going on and this, that, then I'm feeling it, but I wouldn't think to myself, do you know what? Right now I'm gonna come off the phone and whatnot and this, that. But though, if I just done it, and one of my brethren rang me and said to me, what are you doing? Was you just
That far?
I'd say yeah.
Okay.
There's a camera.
Listen, you see
Yeah.
me, I'm not one of them. I am just not one of them. I am very like when I say I'm open, it's more just like there's no shame in my thing at all.
But is that common? I assume that's common with guys. Maybe not every single guy, but
Nah,
I would never. If
Yeah.
I've
There's
just done
certain
that,
things that as
I'm
men,
not gonna
and
say
there's
to
certain
her,
things as
"Finish."
men,
Yeah.
certain things as men in our society or where we're around wouldn't just discuss like that. Remember, there's still that little taboo about going down on a woman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's
For me,
still.
yeah.
still, it's
not as
ridiculous.
bad. It's not as bad.
It's not as bad.
Yeah.
About
But
out
it's-
here, like
it's
going
ridic-
on a batty and everything.
No, but
So I
hear
thought
what I'm
that
saying.
was
No, but here's what I'm saying, yeah. Even maybe in and around, like say you and like speaking to guys and that, you might hear more guys talking about it now. But still in and around just the man them.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's still one of them. In my friendship group, it's definitely not.
Okay.
Not even nearly like that. That's completely
That's
out the
good.
window. But there's no shame in my thing. If anything, I'm just like, whatever I do is what I'm doing, isn't it? But no, I'm not a person who like would go and share an experience with a lady and just blurt out what I'm doing.
Yeah,
Like, I'm
yeah,
just
yeah.
not doing
Okay,
that. But if you're gonna ask me like some of the things that I like or whatnot, I'm telling the absolute truth from the get go.
I think we can have that conversation as girlfriends. Like, this is what, but it's just. I'm just not going to tell you when I've just had a little freak.
Yeah.
Just not going to do
But you're
that.
gonna say beforehand.
I'm not going to say anything. It's
Oh.
No one's ever gonna know.
when,
Oh, no one's ever gonna know.
But and as I said in our conversation,
It's not a subject. It's not.
As I would say in a conversation, I would definitely like, if I'm like, yes, I'm going to fuck my man, I would say that to my
Yes.
bitches. I wouldn't feel
yeah.
shame in that. And that's what we were exploring. Like, why is it self-pleasure, especially for women, and exploring our sexuality and our pleasure, our own pleasure? There's taboo around it where you feel more embarrassed to say that than to say, I'm going to go and have sex with someone.
Is there still quite a bit more taboo around your own pleasure?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think taboo, a bit of guilt. It's a very strange thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's definitely something. It is like a new conversation to even be like out here. I masturbate. That's
Yeah.
very new because loads of women will be like, no, and I never watch porn. And
I mean, I
there's
don't
all of
watch
that.
porn, but
I love a bit of porn.
Yeah.
But
I don't think there's
don't
anything
mind
wrong
a
with
bit.
it. I only watch porn if I'm with
Depends on
someone.
my mood.
I don't mind.
I never,
But now,
if I'm with somebody, I've watched porn, but I haven't watched it. Like I wouldn't just go home and put on some porn.
No, I'd probably watch a pod, but
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah.
when the movie's there, it's one of those. It's not a come in the house and that would be a little crazy. But for some people, maybe not.
Some people
maybe
do that.
is their pod, is watching a scene take place.
I wonder how much men that are in relationships feel about their partner masturbating.
So
That's an
I
interesting
assume
one.
that
That
men
is an
like
interesting
that because there's that whole
They wanna
taboo of
watch as well,
yeah, that whole thing. There's an assumption that they're gonna love seeing two women get it on and all that stuff. 'Cause that's the okay gay, not the other type of gay.
Did
all
we
of that.
speak about this? We spoke about like, would you want to watch your man
What doing what?
having a wank?
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't mind.
Yeah,
I
we
wouldn't
spoke
want
about
it.
that
I like
before.
You may not
Yeah,
want
you
to,
do.
and I'll
No,
tell
I
you
don't
why
want
you
that.
might
not
not
the
want
cum
to.
face. I don't want to see the cum face.
No. Because you might be mortified
Same.
at what he's doing to get to that bit,
that's
or what he's watching.
Yeah, I don't even want to. Honestly,
I don't want not the personal wank, the intimate.
Oh, the
moment.
between me and
No,
you.
I mean, like-
I wasn't even
I
talking
don't
about
want.
that.
I don't want to open the door and
That's
see
what I'm
he's
saying. I mean, that
nuts
one.
over Manicoot. Like I'm wanking over Manicoot. Oh my god.
you don't know. It could be. That's why I don't want to know. I literally do not want to know.
I actually didn't even mean it like that. Actually, I meant
We
like
took it too far.
not the one where it's like, oh, you know, you and your partner are talking and whatever, and it's
That's
gone there.
different,
I'm
yeah.
not talking about that. I'm talking about like just him
Him
finding out that that's what you did today without
Oh.
any type of communication or anything. You just did that. I
What do you
wonder.
mean?
How
So-
the man would feel
Because
about
you know, like sometimes, yeah, I think some people. I'm not speaking for all, by the way, but I'm just saying some people have a slight insecurity on like, well, if you're doing that without, and you didn't even mention
Yeah, I get
anything,
that.
like, what are you
Ego.
thinking about? Like, what is it that is? Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh no,
that.
Go on.
No, I'm trying to think. An ex-partner. I know he was always had.
Don't
his
worry,
dick.
you get editorial rights.
That's fine. My ex-partner, like his hand was always on his dick, man. I knew that he's always busting the one out all the time because he had a high sex drive. So it's beyond like you can't be. I'm probably not always thinking of me either. I
Yeah,
can't be that
yeah.
egotistical.
Yeah.
So it just is what it is. As long as I'm getting what I need when we're doing it.
Fair.
The only thing I think, one or two times I did that. You're not putting on white girls, non-black girls,
All right.
and shit like that. Don't make me start thinking that you're thinking about someone like I'm a
someone-
whole dog.
Someone so opposite to you.
I am a whole.
I get no idea.
Someone in
the end of the
Bedfordshire.
minute.
Someone
Some Yorkshire lass.
Yeah,
I think that is.
I
I think that's
fair.
So you can't put that
Yeah.
on if we're doing some sort of. We're having a porno moment, but trying to pull out your black catalogue.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
No, I think that is.
Someone looking like, so what?
Yeah, like,
Precisely.
none of that.
I would definitely take offence to if you stumble upon the history of what's being consumed, and it's white woman porn.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, so
That's a
far
problem.
away.
That's a problem.
Yeah, that's like, well, then go and be with a white woman.
Yeah,
then.
Exactly.
Why is that your fantasy? Hell to the hell no.
Do you want to go and fulfill that fantasy?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what-
Move,
Yeah.
what's happening?
move.
No, that's a bit. I feel like that's dodgy. But I would think the same thing if you're seeing, I don't know, if you come across your woman's porn
Yeah.
and it's like a white man.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And it's all like you'd be like, well,
Consistently.
Yeah.
Consistently
That's
as well.
fine.
Yeah, if it's
Or-
consistently as well, and you're like, or more often than
Yeah.
not, then it's kind of like, right.
Or if it's BBC's, and then your man's.
What's the BBC?
I was like, what's BBC got to do with
What? Do you know I met somebody who had told me. I met someone who told me that when she was with her partner, because she finds it difficult to get over the line. Yeah, she was like, after they're finished doing what they're doing, she would get herself over the line.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he'd get really upset about it. And she came to me and asked me about that. She was like, "Oh, would you get upset about it?" And I was like, I said, it depends on how you're doing it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you see,
Yeah.
for me, yeah,
Yeah.
I am very like, I'm at that point where like, I'm collaborative. If you want to bring certain things in, let's bring them in. I'm on that because we're doing it together. But if we are doing what we're doing, then I'm finished and then you're just there in the bed shaking off the place doing your own thing, then I'm not really gonna, because then I'm gonna think like, what?
Yeah,
At least ask for my ask for something. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, even if you just want me to just leave, do something that makes me feel like I'm a part of the process. If I don't feel like I'm part of the process, then I think that would actually. It would be a big problem for me.
That's fair. That's
It'd be a big problem.
Absolutely fair. I think you've got to be collaborative because not every woman gets over the line easily with penetration, and that's a lot more common than people think. So I think it's fair. And because what I don't like is a selfish lover that when his boss is going to sleep, I'll punch you awake.
Yeah.
Not a little knock you.
And they say I'm the violent one.
No, because I've actually left the room. I'm like,
I don't like
mad?
that shit. I don't like that shit.
Then it's like you're begging to fit. Nah, then I don't like selfish lover because I'm not a selfish lover.
Yeah, I don't like that.
So don't be selfish. Some men can use that as a kind of power trip.
I mean, it's like they can kind of go on like I didn't even know that you didn't. And it's
Yeah,
like,
that kind of bullshit.
Or they like, did you come?
No, I'll
Did
make
you
you
come?
know.
What?
Was that good for you? It fucking was
No,
not.
do it again.
You're like this, bruv.
I ain't finished. Like, come on.
What have you done?
And I think more women should be more vocal because don't have to be
Definitely.
Don't have to be rude about it. But I think again, it comes back to that subservient women. You know, we're not even allowed to really act like we enjoy sex. Like historically, a woman that loves sex and you immediately get labelled and stuff like that. So it's. Be confident in yourself. Understand that, you're allowed to come. You're allowed to ask your partner to do
You're allowed to say what you like.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You're allowed to say what
And
you
you
like.
should.
You're allowed to say, don't keep doing that.
Don't do that
change.
anymore.
Oh, I have.
No,
Or stop.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
It does not feel good.
Good, right, yeah,
I don't
yeah.
care who told you that's good before.
Not me.
But for me,
Nobody did. When I feel like men lie. When they say every woman has liked this, and you know when they do that hammering thing, nobody liked
that
it.
hammering thing.
Nobody liked it. She just didn't say anything.
Yeah, at the time.
basically.
Finger
my
bashing.
God. Yeah, or they're just grinding you out.
What is that?
Scooping out your whole insides.
Or
This is-
like,
can I
there's
say, by the way,
no foreplay, you just wanna
fellas,
stick it
fellas,
in. What
this
is
is the
that?
reason why it's so good to have friends as women.
Yes.
Or women as friends, should I
Yes.
say. Because you get to understand certain things, especially when you hear one thing consistently, then you know that there's something in it.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
If a woman says, I don't really love all of that, and you hear another one say, yeah, I don't really love all of that, and a different one say the same thing, there's something in it.
It's not them, it's
There's
you.
something in it.
And the same for women, because also we're conditioned to think a certain way. Like, this is what a man likes, this is what you must do.
Yeah.
Listen as well, because I think, again, the person that I spoke to, he was like, yeah, guys are not always up for it. And we have been conditioned to think men just want to fuck, especially black men. They feel like they're on it all the time. And then you have to be like a Duracell rabbit all the time. It's understanding that men have down times too.
100%. And do you know what, babes? Yes, it is standing up. I just need to piss.
Yeah.
I just need to do that. And you'll see a drastic
about you.
difference. Once I pee, you're going to see a big difference. It's not the same. I've gone in one way, I've come out a whole different way. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've had to learn that.
But actually, to get to the point of which I was actually going to bring up, you did have a really good and interesting conversation with Elaine about the boycotting stuff,
Yeah.
And there has been so much conversation in and around it. Me and Dan had a conversation about it just recently, with a little bit of time that have gone by. Like, what kind of has been or is sort of your feelings and perspective on that whole conversation? Not just her, I'm talking about the conversations that seem to be had online anyway.
We literally just spoke about that on our latest episode.
Yeah, go on. Because I guess for you and Elaine's exchange, you were very much get to the point of buy black. And Elaine, in our conversation, was firmly on the boycott Asian. That needs to be the message. And yes, it's buy black, but it's boycott Asian and buy black. Like, she weren't letting go of the boycott Asian. And I understood that. I personally liked the chaos of her. Being really firm in it. I was like, I like that. I like when somebody like throws a cat amongst a pigeon and everybody's all in flux, because then it will land and the conversation of buy black will be back in vogue again, because it had died down from 2020 and Swiss coming out with like Black Pound Day and everything. It was a good time. So I was like, maybe the good times are going to come back round again. I feel since our convo, obviously she's done the pod rounds. We were lucky we had booked her in and this took place in that same week. it's gone into a space where I feel like it's a bit
It's where I thought it would go.
idiotic. Like it's really divisive and people are fighting each other and our comments are still blowing up with either I support you, Elaine, or she's the worst thing ever, and it's like, oh, I thought it would have simmered and we would have got to the real shit by now, and it's kind of not happened.
Yeah, that's just as all. That was my fear of. There's no nuance anymore, so people take headlines, quick clips, and don't really get into the weeds of what people are trying to say. Because on our show, she did explain and expand on why she wants to boycott Asian shops and stuff like that. But just boycott Asians because they don't want to work with blacks. And if you have these kind of broad stroke headlines, obviously people are going to be offended. Obviously Asians are going to be offended. And obviously it's going to descend into racist tribal wars. If I heard of any other community saying, yeah, the Africans do this and they don't like us and they hate us and this, and we should boycott them, I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, well, actually, I get what they're trying to say. They're trying to say some Africans in some situations. I'm just hearing that, and that's what's going global. So I was more concerned of, actually, how about really reinforcing buy black? Because that's the ultimate thing that's important. Making it easy for black people to find convenience in buying from black people. All the lists, all the things. And yes, I understand that it's stoked the conversation, which is very important. So wherever we got there, we get there. But now she's being drawn into these kind of petty battles. And it is what it is. I'm old enough to know that you're on your journey, you do what you got to do. I can't stop someone. I don't want to control someone because who knows where she's going to end up. She has to do her journey. But for me, I'm like, you're getting drawn into that where what you did was a good thing initially and what your intentions were good. Let's just have all the lists and people sharing where you can buy your black foodstuffs, your black clothes, your black cosmetics, your black trinkets, or whatever the case is. That's a bigger message for me. And I don't want us to get drawn into that because sometimes our underwear is always out in the street and sometimes we do look crazy. And it's not to impress any white person. It's for us because we can be anti-black ourselves and we're so quick to judge ourselves. So can we hold each other up in high esteem and not give room for the naysayers and the doubters and then say, yeah, and then we got people coming for Elaine and disrespecting her when I'm sure, like, at the end of the day, at the heart of it, she just wants us to be empowered as black people. That's where I am in it.
I think it was disappointing, all the racism that it created. I was disappointed by that because... I understood what she meant when she said boycott and why she wanted to stand firm on the word boycott, because she didn't want to give people... When you say boycott to someone, there's strength in that. It's like, okay, so if I cannot do that thing, I've got to do something else. I've got to find an alternative. When you just say buy black, you don't necessarily have... It's like, it's nuanced. That's it. It's if I can. So I think that's where she was going. It kind of went into craziness as well online and people's response to that. And sometimes how it was presented by people around. So that's the bit that I found quite disappointing, because there is power in keeping our money amongst our community. And I think that is the root of it all. It was, how can we make our community better? How can we keep the money within our community? How can we create generational wealth? That has been mixed up and clouded by all of the noise. You know, no one is truly saying we don't like these people over here. It was more about, well, what can we do for our people? And unfortunately, because like you said, people will listen to a soundbite and they'll take that and they'll run with it, and then they'll post what they want and they'll do all these different feeds about it. That's been the noise.
Yeah.
And some of the things that she said have stoked that as well. Yeah. To give her to take some accountability if she's in that space. And again, if that's sorry.
It's okay.
Her brand is being angry. She's delaying the pain. She cusses everybody. So this also works in her favour for who she is. And she did say, I don't want to be no one's role model. I just said this thing and let you lot have at it. So there is that. So if she doesn't want to take it on, that's also her right. But she kind of does want to take it on. So it's just this kind of confusing message.
Well, I think what she said is that she can't do it on her own.
No, she did say that, but she also said she didn't want to be
but she did. But she did say, I can't do it on my own.
Absolutely.
So it's not like, we need the community, and she's not wrong for that.
No, that's true.
Because it's the madness.
It's the madness because you can't get the
back and forth fighting, cussing
this
guy, calling him an Asian when he's mixed race. It's all of that to me is silly noise.
Yeah.
that detracts from Buy Black and Black people
And that's
need
the
to
thing.
be supported.
And that's the thing that I think is probably so unfortunate, because the reality of it is that getting drawn into these type of discussions or these type of back and forths and whatnot is always going to be loud.
Yes.
It's always going to be loud.
Yeah.
And I think that, like, when in trying to do something which is positive, being drawn into that just takes away so much, because it's taken away a lot of the energy.
Yes,
This
yes,
energy now
yes.
becomes this, and then everyone gets fixated on it. Then everyone has opinions on it and all that
Exactly.
type of stuff. I kind of had the same sentiment as you, Nana. Like, there's a part of her chaos that I'm drawn to,
Yeah.
and I think that sometimes you do have to, which I said before in the last pod, if you can provoke an emotion, if you can say something and provoke an emotion, that emotion is going to be uncomfortable.
Yep.
But though, once you've provoked the emotion, then you can grab the attention and be like, hear what I'm saying, yeah?
Yeah.
Really, it's not
Yeah,
really
yeah.
enough.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Hear what I'm saying.
Yeah.
This is what we need to do.
Yeah,
Because if you
yeah.
watch X, Y, and Z and boom, 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 boom,
Yeah.
boom, then it's like you've got the attention. When you start seeing the process of people now thinking, yeah, do you know what? Hold on a minute.
Yeah.
I didn't even know about that. Let me donate.
Yeah.
Into people will then start to follow that a little piece. Now you still want to provoke the emotion here and there, because you're trying to get the attention on something that is positive. But I think that the emotion was provoked. A good thing was intended to happen, but now it's just got weird.
Yeah.
Like it's got really, really weird.
And I think there's a understanding the power of who you are, and I get it, and that's why I'm kind of like, I want to leave her to find herself, because who am I to tell you what to do? But that's a thing that's very precious, and it's very important. Buying black, it's so important that you can't actually be frivolous with it. You can't actually have fun with it. You can do the provoking, and then you had to have a plan. Unfortunately, I think it's important.
Yeah.
And so then, and as you said, now what's people doing? Everyone's kind of that boycott, saying we got a boycott. Ain't no one boycotting, because there was no movement to follow. There was nothing to do. Everyone's now gone back to, or a few people might be boycotting. A few people are doing what they do, because I've got a mixed match of buying black and buying whatever's convenient. But I've gone back to that. There's nothing to hold on to, because now, as we said, the person that instigated it is now having petty arguments.
If there was an immediate plan, yeah, that albeit it might only touch a small demographic of people, that would have been one thing. But I think that, like, not necessarily having one, and also not really having like a one. So like when you say boycott, yeah, let's just say, for example, like let's say Starbucks, right? Let's say this one Starbucks shop was not employing black people, and in this Starbucks shop, there was a group of people that was in there dealing with black people a certain type of way, yeah? You could turn around and say, look, there's a tangible thing right here where Starbucks, even though it ain't all of them, you could turn around and say, this one here dealt with us a certain type of way. Yeah. So for that, we need to kind of take a one step back. We do know that in the Asian community, they have demonstrated some anti-blackness and that, yeah. But it's difficult to point out like one particular big thing that's happened for us to all turn around in unison and say, you know what? Fuck them lot.
Yeah, like the
do you get what I'm
shop,
saying?
like that
you could say there's like one like specific there's like individual things that have happened that you could turn around and say, okay, yeah, like that wasn't right. But I think like some of those things are almost like individual things as opposed to putting a blanket statement on all of them.
But that's why I think there is power in the word boycott, right? And that's why I think when it was the boycott hair shops, that for that month, that worked. Because that is a specific thing that you can see and you know, okay, we're not saying everywhere all the things, but we are saying, okay, there is a lot of this in our community, but there are alternatives out there. Let's try and put that money back in our community. Let's... No. I was just going to say something. I can't remember what's his name. Is it Leroy? He started it.
Oh no,
Delboy.
Yeah.
Oh, Delboy.
Delboy.
Yeah. You know Delboy.
You know
no, DEL. He spells his name differently.
So
Delboy
he does a lot of great things, and he says like, if in 30 days, if we did this action, these are the things that could happen.
Yeah.
So you can actually see the power in that. So I agree with you that because there wasn't a real plan of action, it's hard for people to get their head around it, and then it can become, well, you're just battling against each other.
I was actually going to say,
but then I just want to say, but I do also, in some way, although it isn't right, I do understand the wording initially because it provokes the emotion. So once you provoke the emotion, once you've got that, then this is what it isn't.
Yeah.
All of that. You get what I'm saying? They're going to make some noise or whatever. I'll deal with that. Yeah. Don't worry about it. I'll deal with that. But this is what we need to do.
That's I
get that.
I feel like that she had that initially, and then what happens is all the people come at you and she kind of strayed off. What I would have liked, she said the first thing. She's done all of her appeals. Let's black people, I'm going to speak life into you. She did all of that. And then what I would, if she had come to me as her counsel, I would have said, now reach out to Swiss, reach out to Jame, reach out to
other
the black marketplace, reach out to these people that have been there doing this for a while, really in the buy black space. Get everybody together because we're all focused on your account at this moment, and let's start doing collabo posts. Let's re-emerge that movement that took place in 2020. Let's re-engage the community to be like, you know, I'm gonna for this Christmas, I'm gonna spend wisely. Let's really focus on that and change quite a few black businesses' lives and see what that does in 2026, and then measure it. Hook up with other people that are really measuring what the black pound can do, and then you can do a report. You don't have to do it though. You can just be a little bit of a face, just because the eye is on Elaine the Pain. That's what I would have liked to take place, but then
she's
Elaine. But I think, I think the problem was if you have got people coming online and just going for you, constantly abusing you, talking about wanting to hurt you, and doing all these different things, like some disgusting things were aimed at her. She wasn't ever disgusting in the way that she wasn't ever disgusting in the way that some of the things that I've watched and the people, what they're saying. So when you've got that coming at you, it's hard. So she's a human, so I can understand why it's been a fight back. It's not necessarily that I'm saying that it's right, but I can understand the pushback if you've been faced with that sort of criticism.
I will say that, like, even to Nana's point, like, I think that if I'm being super critical, I would have said, especially knowing the internet space and what the internet can be like, and knowing that if I'm going to say something like this, I'm going to have a decent understanding of what is going to come back. I think I would have had a lot of stuff patterned beforehand. So I think what would have been the best thing to do is, before doing it, reached out to certain people, Swiss, whoever else here, and said, yo, this is how I've been feeling. This is what I've been thinking about. And this is actually what I'm going to do. Now, it's going to seem mental, but the idea is that we've got this already in place. We can give certain bits of information or whatnot, and we ain't going to get sidetracked into some foolish conversation with anyone else. But though, I'm going to say something mad. I'm going to say something mad. I'm going to handle that though. But this is what we're going to do.
But
you get what I'm saying?
Part of the thing with her is that she is just the one person that talks. Like, I've seen her from before she had all these thousands of followers, right? And she's just a person that will just say what's on her mind. And sometimes when you do that, there is no thought. Like, we have each other to speak to. You've got other people that you might like speak to, like, and you're, you know, like Poe's not necessarily gonna have your opinion, the same opinion. But there's a conversation to be had there. She's talking to herself. So that's part of the problem. And when you don't have like certain training as well.
I agree.
Do you know what I mean? Like, that comes with, you think you can, like, we know there's certain things we can't say. Like, there's no one else there to teach her that, I suppose.
I agree with you, because also you got a brand, Elaine the Pain, you're known for cussing. So even maybe she didn't even think like what I'm going to say is going to go off like that. But also when you're caught up in, I'm getting followers and likes, people are liking what I'm saying, and I've got to stay in my personality and persona. It's juggling, it's trying to understand that actually there's Elaine the Pain that gets likes, attention, subscribers, da 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 da. And then I've got this other thing that kicked off in a way maybe I didn't expect it to. So she's new in her game as well. So
Yeah.
That's why it's like giving her room to
She's
grow.
learning in that, and I do think as well that like, even though there's a bunch of things that she said that I don't agree with, like I still wish her all of the best,
Yeah,
though. And I
absolutely.
do think that somewhere down the line, in what she's doing, is gonna come some level of positivity, but also I think she's gonna learn a lot about herself.
Yes,
you know what I'm
absolutely.
saying? I feel like in this space, your ego can be touched in many different ways when you're dealing with all of the noise. And I understand how you can get drawn into elements of that. And when you do, you're going to end up sometimes saying some things that when you look back at it, you're going to know that that wasn't actually your proudest moment. But the sign of a good person is being able to look at that, identify it and say, you know what, in future, I'm going to move a little different.
Yeah.
still.
Yep.